This is the entrance to Truax Island, kind of a state park. And we've been here before, incidentally, going to and from Albany. But today we're going to take a look inside of the park. This is the Dead River. This is also the Dead River over here. Incidentally, you can see a heron right there. And the Dead River is not a river, and Truax Island is not an island. At one point, this was a side channel or a slough of the Willamette, and now, as you can see, it's only seasonally with flowing water. Right now, the water is low, very stale. So this island isn't really an island, but on the other hand, the little bridge I'm on right now, look at those pilings. Now, I'm not an engineer, but apparently this little metal bridge here, can't really build a concrete bridge here or a permanent bridge here. This is just a sheet of metal laid across the road because it's very low now, but in the winter, in the rainy season, I would be up to my waist in water right now, and the water will just wash this away. So this means this is effectively an island, and also it means you can't really get vehicles here. Only maintenance vehicles, not open to the public. Makes it a perfect location for bicyclists. This is an old flooded gravel quarry. Before this area was taken to be a state park of sorts, it was used for gravel mining. And when they stopped that, as you can see, they didn't really improve it. It still looks like it did at the time. On the other hand, there's nobody here. There's one car parked outside the entrance, but I'm pretty much alone here. So for me, I'd rather have something kind of scrappy, but, you know, not commercialized or something than a beautiful, pristine nature park with 12 RVs and a hot dog stand. Hey! A very obvious question and a good question to ask. Since this is a quarry, the life in this quarry is probably pretty artificial, even though it gets refreshed from river water from time to time. You can see very thick waterweed there, duckweed on top, probably different types of algae, and I see some dragonflies, and of course I saw a few frogs jumping in. It doesn't look to be a real natural ecosystem. This is also definitely the type of place that people drink Bud Light seltzer, lemonade, and then throw the empties on the ground. Near the entrance, I'm going to do another frog check. When I first came in this way, about 6 frogs jumped into the water. This time, maybe none. Maybe they're still in the water from then. There's the heron flying away. Did you see that? Did you hear that? I don't know what that was. It moved fast. That was a bird. Okay, so all those frogs are now hiding. But you saw. Starting to get pretty hot. Luckily I'm in the shade. Not as hot as it was a couple weeks ago. Actually a pretty nice late summer heat, but I am also running around in these scrubby bushes, so it gets a little bit hotter than it should be. Right here, right by my feet, is where the Dead River meets the Willamette River, and right now it's totally dry. In winter, might be under easily 10 feet of water right now. So this right here, this is the staircase down to the beach. was a bit easier than it might look. So this is the Willamette River. Even this late in the summer, it's still flowing pretty strong here. Under Oregon law, all navigable rivers below the high water line are public byways. And so if you can get down to the Willamette River, it's public. That doesn't mean that the river access itself is public. However, here, we're mostly under the water line. So anybody can come here, and practically, probably not a lot of economic usage can be made of it because it's too isolated. A lot of the areas along the Willamette are developed public parks, or, large blocks of pristine nature, like in Luckeyamute Landing. Here we kind of have a scrap, and having been around, there's a lot of places that are public, but they're kind of scraps along the way, and you kind of have to know where they are. It's easy to bicycle or drive right by the entrance to this place. But once you know it's here, hey, it's here. Time to leave Truax Island. Spent at least 2 hours here. Spent a while here. And I didn't really go more than 1,000 feet from where I came in. Not really an extensive place, but because of the terrain, because it's thick and it also presents a variety of different landscapes, seems like an entire adventure in a little afternoon. It's getting towards the end of the summer. It's a balmy and languid day. Kind of lost track of time. It's kind of ironic, I think, that, as the summer gets later, and as the hours of daylight are getting shorter, I actually feel the days are longer. Maybe because I'm actually using them. Anyway, time to go home.